Okay, this is part 2 for project 1.4. We're going to pick up with number 10. We're going to click on Insert tab, and you need to go over to the text button to locate header and footer. Now you may see the header and footer button appear on the ribbon itself. It depends on your monitor size. My monitor is small, so it's condensed under the text button. Once you click on it, it'll open up in a different view. If you notice down here at the bottom, the first one is normal view, which we were in, but when you use that insert tab and go to the header footer command button, that'll switch you into this page layout view. Now, once you insert your header or footer, you can see this is the shortcut button, or you can go through the view tab and you'll see these buttons here. But they're grayed out because you have to click out of the header or the footer to make these active again. So that's just a quick explanation. So let's go back to working on this header and footer. So in number 10, it wants us to insert a footer. So at the very far right, I'm going to click on header and footer so I can access those tools. You can either use your mouse pointer or this command button and go to the footer, and it will toggle you down. Now, when you go down into the right section, it's going to require you to type out your first name and your last name. Now, when we click on normal view, so first, please make sure that once you enter your first name and last name, click outside of the footer to close that out. And then you can just use this shortcut button here, which is normal, and it will return your normal view. Now, just always remember to get back to A1 if you don't see your data. Hold down the control key on the keyboard and then press the key labeled as home, and that will position you at the top. Number 11, we're going to start working with the worksheet. If you notice, our worksheet down here is named as January. We're going to make a copy of this so we can recycle it for the next month, and we'll just delete this data and use these formulas. So how we're going to do this is if you just right-click over the word January, which is our worksheet name, and you select the command Move or Copy, and then you're going to click on Move to the End, create a copy, because you're going to create all the formatting, and select OK. You'll notice it'll appear with the same exact name with a number 2 in the parentheses. This way, you know this is the copied version. But what I'm going to do is double click on it so I can change it to editing mode, and I'm going to type out the month of February. You have to press enter when you're done typing for it to accept the change. Once you change the worksheet's name, I'm going to right click over top of it again, and I'm going to select the color, which is right here, dark blue, accent 1. Now, if you don't have the same color scheme, as you can see, it's theme colors. Make sure you go to the page layout tab, and when you click on themes, make sure you have slice selected. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and right click over top of it, select tab color, and I'm going to choose the option which is dark blue, accent 1. And if I click off of it, you can see that we have a blue color applied to that tab. But I'm going to click back on it because I want to activate it. Because the next thing it will require you to do is to highlight with your white mouse pointer, the white cross, and you're going to run from the range of B4 down to E15. I'm sorry, I forgot 1 week. We'll go down to winter sports. So that would be E16. And then you just go directly to the keyboard and you press the delete key. And if you notice, it takes away all the values for week 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that it will enable you to do the data entry for February. But we don't eliminate our functions. I'm going to press escape and I'll double click over here. You can see the functions are still there, which we want to keep. That way, so when we start entering values for our upcoming months, you'll see that it automatically calculates. Okay, so that's the project itself. Don't forget to go to File and Save, or you could have just clicked right here on the shortcut button at the top, Save. Once you save it, I'm just going to click back on January, I don't know why, and then just click on A1 and then save it. And you don't have to close this out until you're sure that you received a 100 score. Because remember, you have up to 10 attempts to keep uploading every time you create an, correct an error and you want to try again for a higher percentage. So I'm going to click on upload my file, and I'm just going to go find it. Typically, it's in your downloads folder. So mine's listed as Excel Project 1.4. Once I clicked on upload my file and I click on yes, I'm ready to submit it to grade it, it will come back with a report. So my recommendation is, as you can see, I have an 80%, 16 out of 20 points have been accomplished. So for number 9, the way I like to evaluate it, apparently there's 2 points that are missing. So I'm going to expand it by clicking on this symbol, the greater than symbol. And I'm just going to look down until I see the word feedback. So this feedback relates to number 9E on your set of instructions. And as you can see, the consistency, it's all in row 16, but it's going from column B to F. And it's on the January worksheet, and it's saying I don't have the correct number format. And if I go up here in the actual question, it tells me, well, it wants the comma style applied and decrease the decimal 2 times. So I'm going to go over to my worksheet, and I'm going to locate, here's the January worksheet, and it's B16 to E16, and I can see I did not decrease the decimal. So I'm going to highlight that and go back to the home page, and I'm going to go ahead and click on it 1, 2 times, and I'm going to save that change. Now I'm going to go back to my report. So that's that one. I'm like, oh, here's one for 9G. And it's saying the same thing in row 17. It doesn't have the correct format. Well, what format? Well, I go to the actual question, and it looks like from B17, F17, it should be the counting number format. So let me go back to my worksheet, and if I click, and here's the range, these numbers, now I can see I didn't decrease the number. And then also the other error I noticed is that it's the currency style that was applied. So I'm going to go to the drop down list and apply a counting, change that, and then I'll decrease 1, 2 times. So now I don't have a 0.00. So now that's been changed. I'll just do a quick save on that one. Then I'm going to go back to my report. So scroll down, that's it for that one. So I'm going to scroll back up, I'm going to collapse it, and I'm going to expand number 10 and find out where those are. So it looks like for January worksheet, I don't have a header, and I don't have, so it looks like the right section, so maybe I did this incorrectly. So I thought it was supposed to be the right header section. Oh, so we did a footer, but I forgot this header. So in the header, we should include our sheet name. So let's start with that error, and then we'll go down to this one. So when I go back, I click on Insert. I look for my header and footer command button. It said in the right section of the footer should have the sheet name, and the sheet name is right down here. For the one that's active, it's actually January. So we don't type January out. We just click right here on this button, sheet name, and that will insert it. I'm going to click on A1 to get out of it, and then I'm going to use my shortcut button down here at the bottom right, which is the normal view, to toggle back to the normal view. Okay, so and now I'm going to click Save. So I went ahead and I corrected that error. Now I'm going to go down to 10F. Now it says something about the print settings specified. So I'm going to go up here, and it's telling me it wants me to center the worksheet horizontally on the page. So I know that's page setup option. So I'm going to go back to this, and I go to the page layout, and if I open up here the margins and I click on, well, there's 2 ways. You can go this way, or you can just open this dialog box and click on margins. This is probably the easiest way. If you just launch the dialog box right here with the launch button for the page setup, and once you have the page setup dialog box open, if you're on the margins tab right here, center on the page horizontally. And then if you select OK, that applies to when you actually print it out on a piece of paper. So I'm going to save that change. Now, if you want, some students like to make a couple changes and load it up. Some students like to make all the changes. I found that it's less complicating if you do a couple errors at a time and then upload it. That way it might correct other errors. So you just want to scroll back up until you get to the top left corner to the Project 1-4, right here, the label. If you click on it, this will toggle you back to this view. And when I click on Upload My File, I can then find that again. And then I'm just going to search for it. So right here, I'll upload it for grading, and then just select yes, the same process as before. And then once it loads, it's going to come back with my percentage, which is 95. So apparently there's still an error. So that's what you do. You're just going to keep resubmitting until you get it correct. So I'm just going to go down. It looks like down here in 9H, I missed that. So column F, January, is approximately 9. So it's saying auto fit. So it looks like I didn't auto fit column F. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to double click on the edge. You can see the width of it did change for column F. So I'll save that and then I'll upload that for grading. So, sorry about that. So when you toggle back up and you go to that link, you're going to see all your attempts start loading up down here below. These, when you click on this, that's the error report. If you click on this, this is the file that you submitted for that particular attempt. So I'm just going to go for my third upload, and after this one I probably will receive 100%. So that's what you want to do, is you want to keep going back, making some changes. You want to keep uploading it until you receive your 100%. So if I click back on Project 1-4, scroll down to the bottom, and you can see it took me 3 attempts to get my 100%, and the system will retain the highest score.